All right, so listen, the quartering is always tweeting out like absolute dog. And I guess somehow the quartering and Keemstar, I feel like they should be aligned, but somehow they are beefing.
AB revealed to me today that this beef actually has some history. It goes back a while.
Yeah, they were beefing in 2018 over some. But
There's
So
shit all over the floor.
yeah, they whine about all the same things essentially. So it is kind of surprising that they're not energetically aligned.
It's interesting because I kind of forced to pick a side in a way, and I have to say, I mean, well, let's go
Nobody's
over
forcing you to pick a side. To be fair,
I was actually really curious.
it. Okay, so let's go over it, and then we can decide who's the bigger douche here.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the man, the quartering with his insane takes as usual, and of course, the more insane right wing psycho shit you tweet, the more likes it gets. I've noticed that with like Matt Walsh, you know.
It's based, bro.
Exactly.
It's a base
the
tweet,
more
bro.
openly racist and just ignorant you are, the more based you are. So when you and your family tune into Disney Plus to watch The Mandalorian, remember that the main actor, Pedro Pascal, is mourning the death of a man that, you know, R-worded. I'm keeping it 50-50 here. A child, a literal P word, a violent P word. He did so publicly. Yeah, so, of course, the quartering's talking about Kyle Rittenhouse thing. One of the people Kyle killed was a convicted P word. Of course, Kyle didn't know that about him when he shot him. Like, that doesn't justify... It's just... Okay. And then I don't think Pedro was literally just... What did Pedro actually say? He was probably just...
Is this tweet? I'll show you right now.
Yeah, let's get the context here. Joseph Rosenbaum, 36.
That's the guy.
and
Rosenbaum is the one
and
who is
Anthony
a
Huber
P word.
murdered. Well, okay. I mean, that's an interesting thing. I wouldn't say a rest in peace. It's kind of... I feel like actually... What do you think about this tweet?
I mean,
I wouldn't wish a rest in peace to a convicted P word, although he probably didn't know that about him at the time.
yeah,
he
probably
tweeted
not.
it.
Also, I think, I suspect, remember that the quartering has this very unhealthy obsession with Gina Carano or whatever her name is, who obviously was on the show.
But okay, but
with Pedro Pascal, so there's some.
By the way, one of the guys murdered was like a good dude, a medic who was like, do I have that right? One of the guy, or I don't remember who.
You know what?
One of them was a
I don't
great
know.
dude. One of them was a P word. Clearly, Kyle didn't know which is which. But anyway, I get the point. Whatever. He's not being like, yo, love these P words. Otherwise, he'd be in the Catholic Church if he loved P words so much.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, speaking of P words, can you pull up that picture, that newly surfaced picture of the Pope blessing Epstein? Takes one to know one.
You were right about one of the guys being a medic, by the way.
Yeah, so one was a terrible dude, one was a great dude. It doesn't matter what kind of dude they were. Kyle shot and killed them. You know what I mean?
Basically, irrefutable evidence.
Yeah, by the way, this picture recently surfaced, which is pretty awesome. I was like, damn, dude. I was like, oh, shit. Probably not the first P word the Pope's met. In fact, he probably surrounded by them all day. In fact, he might even be one himself. I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? I mean, fuck.
You just keeping it 55th straight?
I'm just keeping it 55th straight. You know what I'm saying? I would never trust my kid in the damn... I don't know how to do it other than that one thing, but... You gotta love that, eh? When was this photographed? Was it before or after?
2003.
Was that after his first?
No.
Okay. You got to assume the people the Pope meets, they vet him a little bit, though, so you're not blessing people like him. Because once the Pope blesses, God's like, what can I do? He's in heaven now. Do you think in heaven, like, when someone, like... Because, let's say, the way that Christianity works, you accept Jesus, you go to heaven, no questions asked, right? Right?
I think there's a little more to it, but...
No, I don't. That's what it's all about. You accept Jesus into your heart, you repent, you go to heaven, Bob's your uncle. Yeah. That's all. I mean, is anyone here know about that stuff?
I mean, a little bit. On my mom's side, my grandfather was a preacher.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. My question is, go ahead, Olivia.
I was raised Catholic, so I got my communion when I was a kid, but
It's just say.
it's like, yeah, it's essentially.
I
as
mean,
long
chat.
as-
You can correct me if I'm wrong here, but the point I'm driving at is that basically.
No, I don't.
Do you think when someone like one of these priests, one of these P-word priests, goes to heaven, that there's just like tons of kids for him?
Oh, I hate that idea.
It's heaven, right?
Oh my god.
That's his idea of heaven. Just saying, the Pope's there hanging out with Epstein.
I think that's the Catholic Birch.
That's the Catholic. Yeah, that's the Catholic Church, boy. I'm just saying. Yeah, people are saying I'm right. So that's what I'm saying. Go to heaven. They got their own version of 55 virgins. You know what I'm saying?
What's up? You looking at me?
No, I was just looking over.
The chat's saying you're wrong. There are different
Some said Ethan
denominations.
is right. Some say I'm wrong. Yeah, it's disgusting. I know. I'm just talking about that. They're all a bunch of P words. Fuck them. Fuck all the people in this picture. I hate it. It's disgusting. Moving on. Speaking of disgusting, the quartering.
Beat him up, beat him up, beat him up.
Anyway,
Uh-oh.
people are just getting to the part where I said that joke, so I'm just reading the response. It's not my idea of heaven, by the way. Ethan, someone said Ethan has a point. Just saying. Just saying.
I want to see you interview Wendy Williams. Now that would be interesting.
I'd love to. I mean,
Just saying.
Just
Have
saying.
you seen the Azalea Banks like layups on Wendy Williams? Have you seen those?
No.
Oh my god. Hold on.
Someone said here, there's some people arguing with me. They're saying, if heaven is even real, then I would imagine it would take away the desire and urge to harm anyone. Okay, so that's fair. I like that idea. Well, they wouldn't be like real people. It would just be like your idea of heaven is meant as a perfect and pure paradise. No P word allowed. Okay, fair enough. Who paradise for who then?
You want to see something really interesting?
Always.
When the Pope comes to New York City, he stays at the Archdiocese like house manor thing in Manhattan.
Yeah, that's a good ass location.
Yeah, it sure is.
What? The Pope stays on 72 in like Central Park East? That's
Yeah.
that's like he's chilling, bro.
You know what this house is?
Let me guess.
Jeffrey Epstein's mansion.
Holy fuck. They could literally walk into each other's backyards.
They literally can because they share a back area.
That's fucking interesting right there, dude.
Oh, shit.
That's fucking interesting.
Just saying.
Just saying. Yo, that's such an expensive place to live. Epstein owned a whole building there. That's crazy money.
It's like a famous house. It's Herbert N. Strauss House.
Yeah, well,
It's a historic landmark.
It's bad juju there now. Should get a little discount for that. I'm gonna keep it 72th Street. I used to actually live on 72th Street when me and Elo lived there on the west side. Or 73rd Street, actually, sorry.
I would distance myself from that street if I were you.
Well, it's a big street. I mean, you can't really.
I mean,
have them
Ethan, there's no such thing as a
off. 73. I was on 73rd.
Okay, well then you're
Street.
good. You're
Yeah.
good.
Just saying.
Just saying. Okay, anyway, so the quartering says when you and your family tune into Disney Plus to watch The Mandalorian, remember that the main actor, Pedro Pascal, is mourning the death of a man that R-worded a child. A literal P word, a violent P word. He did so publicly. Okay, so it's a little misleading. He was saying rest in peace to both of the people that Kyle killed. It's not like he went out of his way to acknowledge. He probably didn't know about this guy's, history. And then Keemstar comes on top, which is real interesting that Keemstar put his neck out on this specific take too, right? He says this guy claims to be fighting SJWs and cancel culture, but he acts like just one of the people he's fighting. Clown emoji. That's actually such a base take by Keemstar, especially considering
It also 100% applies to Keemstar.
Totally. I mean, well, so Keemstar definitely cancels people regularly on his show, but I do think I do think what he's saying about the quartering is actually, I've long said quartering is the biggest snowflake on the earth, because quartering, particularly on a regular basis, calls for boycotts, canceling, calling out people for being libtards and stuff. Like, he is literally a SJW snowflake on the right. He's the antithesis of a snowflake in that he is basically just a conservative snowflake.
I'm deep undercover.
So I think Keemstar is right on point. Obviously, there's irony in it. But yeah, Keem is super MAGA, so I just find it interesting that he's putting his neck out on this particular point, don't you?
Well, he's just saying, you know, that the quartering's a whiny bitch, essentially, which he's right.
Yeah.
He's whining about everything all the time.
The quartering comes back. Didn't figure Keem for being pro P word. Again, it's like, dude, use your P brain to actually address the conversation. He's not saying he's pro P word. He's saying you're a hypocrite. So why do you have to turn that into him being pro P word? Like, you can't actually defend your position.
Also, why wouldn't you figure Keem for being pro P word considering his dating habits?
Right.
Also,
well,
this is coming from the weirdo who's upset about She-Ra and Lola Bunny not having big boobs.
exactly. He is the king of cancel culture. Yeah. He literally bitches and tries to get shit canceled for the dumbest SJW shit. He is a SJW. He's just a conservative SJW.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm shitting myself.
He's a cultural social justice warrior. You know? He's a Custer. CJW. Yeah, so didn't figure Keem is pro P word. You know, like, literally Keem didn't say anything about P word. He's just calling you a bitch. So again, I like you, Jeremy, but this tweet ain't it, dog. Oh, tipster. Uh-oh. Oh no, the usual suspects are all converging on this.
Uh-oh.
Hey, maybe one day Keem will let you make a video on his channel. I get it. Also a good point and funny. So that's a W for quarter. Because basically these guys all suck on Keemstar's titties, trying to hopefully get promoted by him. That's a really good point for Jeremy. W.
10 points for Gryffindor.
Yep. And then, oh God, there's all these fucking, this is awesome, dude.
There's a pylon.
I love watching from the
chaos.
sideline. What part of the quartering statement are you disagreeing with? Oh, see? Now we got the fucking, this other cultural warrior, Viva Frey, who I'm sure is going to be clipping this and fucking doing
there's going to be a lot of videos that come out of these 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy, guys.
Ethan is pro P word.
There'll be some
breaking.
There'll be some crazy thumbnails and fucking titles after this 5 minutes.
Tipster, breaking. Ethan says that I'm in a sexual relationship with Keemstar. Slander.
Dumb.
By the way, let me just make clear, I am not pro P word. In fact, I'm not a pro anything. I'm just narrating this. So before you fuckers try to spin, well, they're whatever. They don't care what I say.
You're just the referee.
Yeah, I'm just the referee, guys. I'm just enjoying. Exactly. I'm just enjoying the show. Okay, so Viva Frey, he's just trying to clarify. What part of the quartering statement do you disagree with? The statement being that Pascal is supporting P word, which is not. It's absolutely not what's happening here, dude. I mean, and then quartering responds, I mean, I don't mourn the death of violent P words. I guess that's weird to him. I never called for the guy to be fired. Just pointing out facts. Oh, really, bro? He goes, I didn't ask anyone to fire him.
I'm just saying, when you tune into his show on Disney Plus,
to remember what a piece of shit he is and that you support that piece of shit and this show. Are you guys so fucking cowardly that you can't even own up to what you're doing? Like, if you're going to do this game and pretend like, I'm not doing that, just stop being cowards and at least own what you're doing. You know,
go watch someone else.
I already chose that. I mean, I don't mourn the death of violent P words. Just fucking own it, bro. I never called for the guy to be fired. Just pointed out a fact. Such a coward.
Gina isn't gonna fuck you, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Gina's never gonna fuck you, bro. No matter how many times you talk about how great her feet look, or Photoshop yourself together with her.
How many stepdad hugs you give her?
It's just not gonna happen, bro. You gotta
Oh my
let it
God,
go.
a little came out.
I know. Okay, so, is this a video or because then Keemstar?
Yes,
How do I watch it?
It's in the doc right below that.
Yeah, so then Keemstar made one of his classic Twitter videos. This is so good. Isn't this the best?
I really have started to enjoy the Keem rant on Twitter video genre. He's really like stepped it up recently. Like he does these all the time, and it's always gold.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing them for a while. He definitely has the talent.
Definitely steady hands.
Steady hands. Didn't figure Keem for being a P word, so pro P word. So here's Keem.
The quartering, aka Jeremy, you and your fans have lost your goddamn mind. Forever, you've been saying you're against cancel culture and you're against the social justice warriors. You're against going after sponsors and all this other shit, right? Well, apparently some actor made a claim, rest in peace to the fucking pedophile that Kyle Rittenhouse killed in self-defense, all right? So you got upset about that, and you want to call the guy out. But instead of calling the actor out, you decide to put out a tweet saying, oh, when your family is watching Disney Plus and they're watching the Star Wars series, be reminded that the lead actor is a fucking pedophile supporter or whatever. Why did you add Disney Plus? Why did you fucking add that he's in a Star Wars series? Why didn't you just talk about the actor? Because you're being a social justice, cancel culture warrior, fucking hypocrite. That's why. So I call you out for that, and your fans then respond, oh, I guess you support pedophiles. You know who else acts this way? The cancel culture fucking pieces of shit all over the fucking internet. Your fans are just like that. Now you respond. You, Jeremy, yourself respond and say, I didn't think Keemstar would be pro-pedophile, but I guess he is. You are a social justice warrior, cancel culture fucking moron, just like everyone else on this goddamn site. You are no different than the people you call out. Look at your actions. Look at your tweets. Look how you fucking act. Look how your fucking mindless sheep fans act. Look what they say. Look how they spin narratives. You're all a complete joke, and only Keemstar lives in base reality. Thank you.
Okay, so
the quartering.
Oh, what the? Is this real?
Yeah. This is his assistant.
Wait, I never saw this photo. When was this posted?
It was a while ago.
I think you saw it. We showed it on the show.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Bro, that looks like a father-daughter day. Like, legitimately. She's still got her braces on and shit.
The thing.
Also, look how flat his dome is. Like, because the bandana's so tight, you can see there's not a single bump on that dome. That is smooth.
I fucked up!
Anyway, rare W for Keemstar, because as much as a hypocrite as he is, because he is always canceling people on this show, I do think he's right in that the quartering is the biggest social justice warrior of all time.
Yeah, he's totally right. It's ironic coming from Keemstar.
But Keemstar doesn't engage in it in the same way the quartering does, in that the quartering is regularly calling out sponsors, calling out shows, boycotting, canceling people. Like, he is actually a social justice warrior. Keemstar like cancels people on his show, but what the quartering does is like legit textbook SJW shit. So W for Keemstar in that regard. Here we go. It continues. This is awesome. Keem doesn't understand cancel culture at all. Yeah, it's not cancel culture when I do it. It's only cancel culture when lefties do it. And it's just salty he got ratio trying to defend Pedro. Let's mourn a child, R-word, Pascal. Bro! What does he not understand about cancel culture? You know? Genuinely curious. Two bitches on different teams. Another video.
Yeah, so that's also in the doc.
Awesome. Let's go.
Did you just say, I ratioed you? You're just mad because I ratioed you. You know who else ratios me?
Everyone.
Hassan Piker. Why?
Oh, you gotta cry about Hassan ratioing you. What a baby. It's true. Keem, don't pretend like getting ratioed doesn't hurt. Like, you did get ratioed.
Really hard.
By the quartering, which is pretty, I mean, it just feels bad and sad.
Yeah.
You get ratioed by Hassan, that's one thing. But to get ratioed by the quartering, that's just embarrassing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Why are you and Hassan Piker completely different fucking spectrums of the political landscape? Ratio and Keemstar. I don't know. One, nobody fucking likes me. I've accepted it. But two,
Fair
you
enough.
kind of cheated in all of this. You and Hassan Piker, both of you, because you're political fucking hacks, which means you come out and
Oh, he's got this whole rationale about why people are able to ratio him to make him sleep better.
Yeah.
You got ratioed because nobody likes you probably, and also you have bad takes. This one you're actually right on, but nobody likes you. So
you say, I fucking love Trump or I love AOC or whatever the fuck, and you automatically get support because people are on the same fucking team. You have bad takes like Hassan Piker coming out and saying, yeah, I love socialism, I love Bernie Sanders, but then he buys a $2 million fucking mansion or some shit,
God,
right?
you're so dumb, bro. I can't believe you're parroting that dumb shit.
Well, I can.
But that's
believe
what's so interesting to me because Keemstar is MAGA. He eats the onion all the time, and the quartering would say the same thing about Hassan, which is totally dumb. Complete misunderstanding of socialism.
I mean, I don't doubt that Keem is, tends right wing.
No, he's MAGA.
I don't know if he's full blown MAGA.
He
to tell you
is.
the
He's
truth.
MAGA.
He
He's
also-
like vocal supporter of Trump every time on
Yeah.
Twitter, constantly.
And like in that video, he said Kyle Rittenhouse like murdered people based on self-defense, and like he's clearly
No, I agree on the whole. I don't know. There's
he
just
is
been some
MAGA.
times. Okay. fair
He's
enough.
MAGA. Yeah, he's a vocal Trump supporter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He doesn't give any of his fucking money to the people. Giant hypocrite. He doesn't get called out because
God, you're so
he's
dumb.
on a team, so he gets team support.
You're on a
You,
team too, bro.
You're against
He doesn't
cancel
get called
culture,
out. That
but
was
you're
like-
out here fucking.
Weeks of like
Literally,
articles and like
didn't
thousands
like
of videos.
Ben Shapiro
Yeah.
make a whole fucking segment
Yes.
about it? I mean, dude, stop.
Calling out Disney Plus. You're calling out the fucking Star Wars series. You're literally trying to get this fucking actor fired, right? Huge hypocrite quartering. But you know what? You ratioed me. You want to know why? Because you're on a fucking team.
No,
I'm on a team.
that's not why.
I'm on this guy's team. Support me, guys. No one gives a fuck about your ratio. This is man shit between me and you. You're fucking wrong.
What is he? Ty Lopez is in his garage trying to show off his
My
car.
garage.
I'll tell you what, I got fucking cool cars. You can't ratio me.
And I know it, and you know it, you fucking ugly little bitch that got fucking slapped by a man in a fucking dress and got so salty, your pathetic ass went to YouTube and raised money to sue the guy in a dress that punched you. That's some bitch shit. You're a bitch forever.
Well, that might be true. You also wrote an email to Susan trying to get my channel banned, so you guys are on equal footing as far as bitch shit goes. Yes, I was violently assaulted by a leftist Antifa guy, the quartering responds. Well, my back was turned because he was a real tough guy. Are you pro-assault now, too? Maybe look up how it ended for him. Wait, what is this? Hint is badly. What is this about?
You know the story. This
No.
was he got jumped at Gen Con by some dude.
What con?
At a convention. I think we talked about it in
We talked about
the
content court, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know a dude in. Was he wearing a dress? Was it
I
a
never knew that.
I never knew
detail.
that detail. No.
Okay, so somebody jumped the quartering at what con?
Gen Con. It's like a game
Oh,
developer.
is that where he got banned
conference.
for life?
Yes. I think he eventually got unbanned, maybe. I mean, he was the one that was assaulted. Like, he didn't start the fight. But then they
Okay,
ended
not
up
in
just
favor of
banning him
assault.
and the other guy, yeah.
A point of order, he was not wearing a dress. Check the police record. He also taught self-defense, ironically. Okay, point of order. I was attacked, but he was not wearing a dress, Your Honor.
Where did Keem even get that from?
You know Keem, he just makes shit up.
Just,
Yeah.
he was wearing a dress.
Okay, this is pretty interesting. So, what do you? So this is the whole take. Is there more here? Let's see.
Yeah, you checked this morning, AB. There wasn't any.
Yeah, no update.
I think that's they
Right,
both
so
ran out of steam after that. But
In the case of Quartering versus Keem, I mean, it's hard to say. There's some W's and some L's. I mean, clearly, I agree with Keemstar's thesis that the Quartering is just a giant SJW. You know, the Quartering's
Accurate, yeah.
original take is, I have to actually say, though, if I'm being fair, little weird of Pedro to wish rest in peace to a violent P word. He probably didn't know, though.
yeah.
The other guy he wished rest in peace was a good guy.
Well, they right wingers all say that he wasn't either because he also had a record of like domestic violence or something.
Okay, so and the consensus amongst the conservatives is that if people have done bad things, you just
can be
kill
gunned
them
down.
dead.
You
on
can
the
be gunned
street.
down.
Just
I think
murder
that's kind of
them.
the wider point here.
Anyone
is that
can be murdered.
A, Kyle did not know any of these things when he shot them, and B, it's not
Yeah.
really a reason to.
It's such a weird take. So
like-
anyway, in short, I think Keemstar takes the dub, and the Quartering is just in such an insufferable SJW freak show that somehow, I don't know, Keemstar takes a twist for the worse here at the end when he talks about how Hassan is a socialist hypocrite. It's like, dude, shut up.
Like, why? Why did he even invoke Hassan in that conversation? Just because he
They're
also
both political, and he thinks,
and he got ratioed by both of them, I guess.
Yeah, the ratio thing kind of took a twist, but on the face value, I think that's a rare W for Keem for sure. I mean, the
And Hassan,
Quartering
you
only
know-
takes L's, by the way.
And Hassan is political, but I would definitely not call him like an SJW
No.
canceller. Like he's pretty
no,
against
not
that
at
kind
all.
of stuff, if anything.
I wouldn't
So-
say he's against it, but he's not actively participating in canceling stuff like the Quartering is.
Right.
You know.